Hi there, I'm Sarah and I am the owner of The Happiness Gap. I'm a certified Live Well, Work Well practitioner and an emotion code practitioner and an insight happiness coach. Today I'd like to talk to you about the happiness gap. Now, I have obviously named my company after the happiness gap, and there's a very, very good reason for that. So today I'd like to talk to you about what is the happiness gap, what does it mean, what does it mean to you, and how can we get around the happiness gap. Okay, so first of all, what is the happiness gap? Well, the happiness gap is an incongruency. The happiness gap is a perceived gap. The happiness gap is, well, the main what I see attributes of the happiness gap, because there are a few. The main attribute I see in the happiness gap is when people say, I'll be happy when. It's future thinking. So I'll be happy when ... You fill in the dots. So it could be, I'll be happy when I have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend, have a partner, get married, have children, get my ideal job, leave school, get a car, pass my driving license, go on holiday, blah, 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 and on and on and on and on and on. And it's all this future thinking. It's you believing that you'll be happy with some future event and focus on that rather than focusing on being happy now, finding happiness now, or finding ways that you can actually feel happy about feeling unhappy. Or not unhappy, uncomfortable emotions. But the danger with that, the danger of thinking that way, I'll be happy when, yeah, great, gives you something to look forward to, gets you through grey days. Then along comes the event, it's amazing, you're totally like blissed out, feeling great. There's the big day, or you get the material thing, or you get the person, or you get the life, or you get the house, or you get the business, blah, blah, blah. And then what? You know, particularly if it's a holiday or an event, I mean, that's over so quickly. As we all know, it's like gone in a second, isn't it? Or it feels like that. And then what? Then what? How does that leave you? So you're kind of pinning your happiness or your sense of happiness on these things that are fleeting. And then you've got these big chunks of life, big chunks in between, where if you're not finding daily happiness or moments that are filling you with appreciation, gratitude, all that good stuff, then what does that mean in your life? What does that mean? Literally, what does that mean? That's not great, is it? That's not a great way to live. I mean, we're not on the planet really that long. So if you're only living by these things that you define that are going to make you feel happy, then your life is going to be like a goldfish's life, really. So my mission, or one of my missions, is to help people get over that happiness gap, that incongruency, that distance that they see that really doesn't have to be there. So how do we do that? Well, the key to that is, number one, don't link your happiness to an event, getting a material thing, a person, a state, a relationship. Just don't do it. You'll be on the back foot all the time. That's the route to a pretty miserable life, or, you know, majority of a miserable life. The second thing to do is to see all of your emotions as valuable. So what I see a lot of people doing is they demonize what they call negative emotions. Now, I don't like to see emotions as negative and positive, because you're kind of wiping out a whole load of very, very valuable pieces of information. So your emotions are communication to you They are tools to be used. They're really, really valuable in helping you learn and grow as a person. If you only aim to be happy all the time, that is just not going to happen. Unless, I don't know, you're on some drug all the time that just sends you off to la la land, which actually, yeah, maybe that sounds quite nice, I don't know. No, not for me. But for the majority of us as human beings, that is just not a realistic or helpful way to live. So the key to that is to see the value in all your emotions, all of them. Now, I like to see emotions as comfortable feeling emotions and uncomfortable feeling emotions, okay? The comfortable feeling emotions are the happiness, the contentment, the bliss, the love, you know, all of that. The uncomfortable feeling emotions, well, we all know them: despair, depression, grief, sadness, anger, disappointment, pessimism. I could go on. They don't feel very nice. You know, we're often trained into, you know, try and not feel that. Well, that can just result in stuffing all these unprocessed emotions into your body, which then eventually can make you quite unwell emotionally and physically. So that's not a great thing to do. So how do we get over this gap? Start to find the value in all of your emotions. When you feel angry about stuff, that's a messenger. What do you need to address? What do you need to change? What triggers are being shown to you in a very uncomfortable way? What needs healing? Do you need to take action around another person? Something that they're doing is triggering you, or what message is that trying to give you? Investigating. When you feel sadness, sadness is a very human thing to feel. We often find sadness is very natural. It's a process. Start to view your emotions like weather. They are weather. Your emotions will wash in like a storm or rain or a bit of wind. They'll wash in. They can cause a bit of havoc and discomfort for a while. But if you don't attach to them too much and you just let them process and do their thing and honour them, listen to the messages they're bringing, eventually they'll wash out. The sun will come out. The sun is always there, remember? It's just that sometimes it gets a bit covered up with a cloud. So that's one version of the happiness gap. That's the biggest happiness gap I see, that viewed distance, that perceived distance between where you are now and where you think you need to be to feel happy. The other happiness gap I see is here. This gap in here. Well, not so much of a gap, because I'm sure there's a brain in there somewhere, but it's the space between your ears. That is a happiness gap. That's a massive happiness gap. You can use your thoughts. You can start to master your thoughts. You can take control of your thoughts. You can direct your thoughts. If you're having thoughts that make you feel uncomfortable feeling emotions, you can identify that thought and find a better feeling thought. Find another way to look at that thought. Find another thought to think. You have neural pathways that you create with thoughts that you keep thinking. Now, Abraham Hicks, she always says, a belief is a thought that you've kept thinking over and over again, and that eventually that will become part of your belief system. You can undo that consistently by replacing it with something else and creating new neural pathways. So this is a big happiness gap in here. You can utilize it to feel more positive for more of the time. The other happiness gap that I see is in here. In here, it's your heart. It's your heart. Now, often people have shut their heart down, surrounded their heart with a heart wall. I have a video on heart walls. If you want to know more about heart walls, it's when your heart is literally barricaded off with a wall of trapped emotions, numbs you out, cuts you off. When you open up your heart, when you become heart-centered, I call myself, I'm a heart-centered woman. I'm a heart-centered business owner. Everything I do, I intend to be heart-centered from the heart. I wear my heart here for everyone to see. That is a center that can be full of great happiness when you begin to open up your heart to yourself and others. That can bring such great joy. And part of that journey is embracing your vulnerability. And when you embrace your vulnerability, that can bring you such joy, such positivity, so much of a happier life. So there you go. Those are 3 areas that I see as the happiness gap, and a few ideas of how you can get over that happiness gap. Now, if you're feeling a massive happiness gap at the moment, then bless you. I've been there. You know, we're all there at some points, especially at the moment with lots of things that are going on. It's been difficult times the last few years, and I'm here for you. I've lived that journey, and my mission is to help you bridge that gap to happiness, one emotion at a time. So I do one-to-one coaching. Have a look in the description and the information below. You can contact me and book a session with me. We can work through with emotion code, which can be very helpful with happiness gaps and all sorts of things. If you like this video, if you find it helpful and want to connect more, then please do subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know more, head on over to thehappinessgap.co.uk. I will look forward to connecting with you. Take care.